Are EVs better for the environment? The answer is not that simple. Most proponents of electric vehicles suffer defeat at the hands of critics when the debate leads to this inevitable question: do EVs have any impact on net carbon emissions? Or do they simply shift the blame away from our cars and place it back on the local power plant? Let's take a deeper look at the responses to determine which of these positions has more evidence to support it. To begin with, even if electric vehicles claim to be environmentally friendly and emit no harmful emissions, the power they consume was most likely generated by a fossil fuel power plant. However, they also claimed that, in the long run, this expense will be repaid due to the energy efficiency of EVs. The problem is that some power grids rely on renewable energy sources more than others. In systems like these, EVs win out completely because power production emissions are no longer a factor. Another study focused specifically on the United States found that the more a state's power grid relies on renewable energy, the higher the EV sales are in that state. As a result, the net emissions from EVs are actually preferable. However, this does not fix our problem. Mass production of the lithium-ion batteries is an energy-intensive process with heavy energy expenses. Until that changes, critics will have an open door to use against EV manufacturers and the general public. Alternatives to lithium-ion batteries are a long way off, but it is reassuring to know that the electric vehicle sector has some brilliant brains working on new ideas. The majority of the world's leading nations have pledged to switch to renewable energy sources. Only when society is no longer reliant on fossil fuels can EVs claim to be truly green. EV makers must stay technologically current in order to capture the global market when the transition occurs, regardless of environmental concerns. With that, we've reached a deadlock. On one hand, EVs are already the more environmentally preferable alternative in the long run when compared to conventional cars. EVs and their batteries, on the other hand, generate significantly more carbon and greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. It's really thrilling to think that as a result of the industry's challenges, we'll see some significant innovation. However, there is considerable concern that the EV industry may be forced to give up and be labeled as an equally environmentally destructive institution. In any case, it's a good argument for the time being. If you want to learn more, watch the video all the way to the end and then click on the video end card, which has additional relevant info. Subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving a remark are also appreciated.